In the last class, we did harmful effects of acid rain on water, if you remember. Yes, today we will do with harmful effects of acid rain in soil. Like what, when acid will fall on land, what will it do? Okay. Okay. So first thing that is very common in both the cases, whether it is on land or on water, in case of acidity, increased acidity, or in case of high acid content or H positive ion, the first thing that will happen is increase in the aluminum ion concentration. ठीक है? Increase in the acid ion, acid, just wait, I will mute. Increase in the acidic cation, which is aluminum, its concentration is going to increase. So what is the problematic with the aluminum? And how does aluminum comes to the soil and water? I'm going to repeat this once again. I told this to you last time. Guys, aluminum basically is present in many minerals. So most common mineral, hello, my voice is not possible, audible. Hello, hello. Is my voice audible? Hello? Clear है? Okay. अगर कोई problem हो तो बता दीजिएगा. Okay, guys. So first of all, we have in case of acidity means H2SO4 will increase. That means H positive ions will increase. As you can see in this figure, the concentration of H positive ion will increase. So the increase in the concentration of H positive ion, this will result in the increase of Al positive 3 ion. How? It's written here. It reacts with the aluminum containing silicate minerals. There are many minerals which can silicates and non-silicates, you know, as 90% of the minerals on earth crust are known as silicates, and 10% are known as non-silicates. So what happens when this, and the most abundant mineral on the earth crust is feldspar. 50% of the earth crust is made of feldspar. And what does feldspar has? Okay, feldspar is of three types: potassium feldspar, calcium feldspar, and sodium feldspar. And what is common in all these three is aluminium and silica. Right? Okay. So aluminium. So for example, the formula of just to demonstrate it, I am telling is this is the formula of the potassium silicate. A KAL S KALSI3O8. हेलो, आवाज कम आ रही है मेरी? हेलो हेलो, और चिल्लाऊं? हेलो, मेरी आवाज कम नहीं आ, अच्छा अदर्स को नहीं आ रही है गाइस, तो पूनम हो सकता है आपका वॉल्यूम लो, आप एक बार करके देखिएगा, ठीक है? सो फॉर्मूला क्या होता है पोटेशियम फेल्सपार का? KALSI3O8. KALSI3O8 is of potassium feldspar. This is one type of feldspar. We will study other kind of feldspar in the rock chapter. Let's study here whatever is required, right? So first of all, this is an example of a feldspar. So this is a potassium feldspar, KALSI3O8. And as you can see here, in this is a kind of mineral. And see, किसी का net mute करना पड़ेगा. Just wait. Guys, mute कर लिया करिए. Okay. So what happens, guys? This is a silicate mineral. So basically, our feldspar, 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 feldspar. अरे गौरव शर्मा को चला गया. This is feldspar, guys. Okay, this is the most abundant mineral. You will get to know. You will study this further in rocks in detail. I have just told you what is required. So now this is an example. So what will happen, as you know that acid can break down anything. When the H2SO4 will fall on the ground, ठीक है? Acid rain हुआ, H2SO4 or HNO3 will fall. H positive ion concentration will increase. What it does, this H positive ion क्या करता है? It breaks down the structure of the minerals. हाई एसिडिटी, एसिड आपको पता है कुछ भी ह्यूमन बॉडी को भी जला देगा. एसिड कैन ब्रेक डाउन एनीथिंग. सो व्हेन एसिड विल फॉल, it devours the structure of these minerals. So this way, this aluminum ion will get released from this structure, from these minerals. So this is how aluminum ion concentration increases in case of acid rain. So whatever will remain in the land will remain in the land, means soil, and whatever will move through water runoff, agriculture runoff or surface runoff, it will enter the water body. Those aluminum minerals will reach the water body. And now I have told you what it does in the water body. This aluminum ion is very harmful for the fish gill tissues. It is very important for the gill tissues. It damages the gill tissues. ठीक है. अब क्या होता है, अब दूसरी चीज क्या करेगा. So basically it is going to kill the fishes because it is going to damage their gill tissues. Okay. The other thing that it will do is, ये क्या करता है, it has a property of coagulation. It makes flocks or flocculation. It is a good coagulant. Flocks means it has a property of making flocks. आपको पहले भी बताया, higher the positive charge, right, and higher will be the flocculation property. जो भी suspended matter होगा, suspended solids will get attracted to aluminum and they will make high lumps, flocks बना लेंगे, right. So when they will make lumps, they will get settled down at the base of the lake. So when you will see water from land, it will look like a crystal clear water because it is not having suspended solids, because they have been coagulated, and because of the coagulation, the particle size has increased. Now this results in the sedimentation of the dust particles, or we can say the solid suspended particles. ठीक है. So what happens because of that? इसकी वजह से water remains crystal clear. So देखने में तो लगेगा wow, this water is crystal clear, but actually that water is not crystal clear. That such lake is known as physiologically dead lakes, because we will not be having higher fishes in high numbers, so whole ecosystem will get destabilized. So ठीक है, this is what it does. यहाँ लिखा भी हुआ everything. Okay, so basically virtually, if the generally pH of the lake should be 6 to 8, but if it drops to 6, so what happens, the acid sensitive organisms will die first, and if the pH will go below the 6, below 5, then what will happen, virtually all fishes will die, because these are high acidic conditions, and generally life doesn't survive in such high acidic conditions. ठीक है. Now forest में क्या होएगा, as you know guys, what it does, do you know that cations are more mobile in acidic conditions? Do you know this cations, this is an acidic cation, पता है आपको क्या होता है, which increases the acidity. So basically क्या होता है, aluminum ion, it increases the acidity, it further increases the acidity. It is an acidic cation. जो अगर फिर से कोई ऐड हुआ, when aluminum will concentration will increase, right, because this will further increase the acidity. इसको हम acidic cation बोलते हैं. Now, so if aluminum H positive concentration will increase in the soil, aluminum ion concentration will also increase. Now what happens, as you can see that aluminum ion concentration has increased here. अब aluminum ion क्या करेगा guys, it generally is present in the form of aluminum hydroxide. पता है ना आपको? नहीं पता है तो सुनिए. Aluminum is a cation. As you can see that it is having a positive charge. So what will it get attracted to? It will get attracted to anions, right? Negative ions. So it generally is present in the form of hydroxide in soil, aluminum hydroxide. Okay. So now when one Al plus 3 ion, आपको पता है when aluminum H positive ion increases, I have told you how they increases the concentration of Al plus 3 ion. But when Al plus 3 ions increases na, it further increases the concentration of H positive ion. Now how it does that, this I am going to tell you now. कैसे increase करता है? One aluminum ion will increase the acidity 3 times. And how will it do that? अभी बताया था, if you remember, feldspar होता है. Feldspar is having aluminum in it, right? Feldspar and other silicate minerals which are having aluminum in it, right? जैसे कि KAl. This is a type of feldspar. I am just telling you. This is a mineral. Mineral क्या होता है? Rocks are made of minerals. Minerals are made of elements. Jinsi, you know that? Al, KAlSi3O8. Fine. Fine. So this is a type of mineral. When acid will increase, acid will destroy the structure of this mineral, right? So when this structure will be destroyed, this will result in the release of aluminum from this. So when aluminum will come out of it, it will become Al plus 3. Everyone has got it, guys? Is there anyone who has not understood how Al positive has increased? ठीक है, आगे भी काम आएगा ये आपको, सॉइल में भी काम आएगा, अभी समझ लो. ठीक है, ओके. नाउ अब नाउ लेट्स सी हाउ Al plus 3 is going to increase the H positive ion concentration. Guys, every one of you know now what is pH? pH is known as potentiality of hydrogen ion, or increase in the concentration of H positive ion, right? और क्या बोलते हैं? pH is what? Minus log of H positive ion. तीन चीज बोलते हैं, लिख लीजिए अगर नहीं मालूम हो. pH is known as potentiality of hydrogen ion, that is concentration of H positive ion, or minus log of H positive ion concentration. ठीक है, H positive ion concentration जो है उसका minus log pH कहलाता है. ओ ओ ठीक है. अरे ये क्या हो गया? Okay, guys. So this is what pH is. So that if pH is increasing, that means H positive ion is increasing. Sorry, if pH is decreasing, then we say H positive ion is increasing. ठीक है, और हम इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Acidity is increasing. pH decrease करेगी, then acidity will increase and H positive ion will increase. ठीक है, ये सबको पता है. Now let's see how it happens. Al positive 3 ion has increased. So basically it is present in the form of hydroxides. It makes complexes. So whenever water will reach the soil, what it does, water hydrolysis होगा, water will break down. तो अब क्या करेगा? Al plus 3 है is present. It will react with water. So what it does, right? Water के साथ क्या करेगा? It will make H2O के साथ react करा, right? So when it will react with this, what it does, it will make aluminum hydroxide. And what is the formula of aluminum hydroxide? AlOH का whole thrice, right? होगा कि नहीं? Because Al is having plus 3 charge, so it requires minus 3 charge to satisfy its valency. When increase क्या मैम? when increase acid, what will be? अरे ये तो पता है ना, एसिडिटी कब इंक्रीज होती है? जब pH डिक्रीज होती है. लेस देन 7 pH इज नोन एज एसिडिक कंडीशन, राइट? बट एसिडिक कंडीशन का मतलब क्या होता है? एसिडिक कंडीशन बढ़ेगी व्हेन pH विल डिक्रीज, बट व्हेन H पॉजिटिव आयन विल इंक्रीज, ये बोल रही हूँ. ठीक है, ओके. हाँ, सॉरी 2 लिख रही हूँ मैं, चक्कर में बात हो गई. तो Al प्लस के ऊपर प्लस 3 चार्ज है, सो एल्यूमिनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड विल बी AlOH का होल thrice, right? So see, so that means if Al plus ion will have to become a complex or precipitate, it will break down 3 water molecules, right? In order to get 3 OH groups. Now when it will take 3 OH groups, what will left in this reaction? 3 H positive ion. बनेंगे कि नहीं बनेंगे? Tell me. Right, because it has taken OH negative. It has taken OH negative from the H2O. So 3 H positive ions will be left. That means if one ion of aluminium plus 3, if one aluminium plus 3 ion will increase, this will result in the acidity 3 times. This will result in 3 time acidity increase. Why? Because one Al plus 3 ion results in release of 3H positive ion in the soil. Have you understood guys? ये कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आया या नहीं बताइए. Have you got it everyone? Any doubt? Okay, so let's move further. So this is how H positive will increase. So basically they do the synergistic effect. Acidic cation hai because this will further increase the acidity. That's why we call it acidic cation. Okay. So what will happen? So one thing is that if acidity will increase, this will increase the aluminum concentration. So and when aluminum concentration will be increased, this will further result in increased acidity. Now what will happen? Actually, when aluminum and one more thing I want to tell you, aluminum is toxic to fishes as well as aluminum is also toxic to the uh, fine root hairs. It damages the roots, right? It damages the root hair. ये करते हैं ये. So when it will damage the root hair, first thing this, so that's why it is harmful for the survival of the forest. So it will affect the survival of the forest. The other thing what it does, it results in the calcium deficiency. Calcium deficiency को क्यों result करेगा? क्योंकि calcium, what happens guys, when aluminum is in high, there is a ratio जिसे हम बोलते हैं कैल्शियम एल्यूमिनियम रेशियो. ठीक है, कैल्शियम एल्यूमिनियम रेशियो जो है दैट इज कंसिडर्ड एज अ, इट शुड बी 1. कैल्शियम बाय एल्यूमिनियम रेशियो इन सॉइल equal to 1 is considered as a threshold for aluminum pollution or aluminum toxicity. So ठीक है, so क्या होता है, ma'am, when Al react with water, there would be decrease in free air line, thus chances of no. अरे उस वाटर से नहीं होगा ना. वो आप अलग कॉन्सेप्ट में जा रहे हो. उससे नहीं रिएक्ट कर रहा है तुम्हारे वो वाला जो जिस वाटर में घुल रहा है. It's not getting reacted with it, right? Generally, if it is actually in soil, it makes precipitates, right? Precipitates और complexes बनाएगा. ठीक है. दूसरा क्या होगा, as you know that 1 Al plus 3 ion will result in increase in further H positive ion के, right? तो क्या होता है, acidity ही acidity बढ़ती जाती है. ठीक है, acidity will further increase, that will be a problematic thing. ठीक है, okay. अब आओ, कहाँ थे हम, हाँ. इट रिजल्ट्स इन, इसे हम बोलते हैं गाइस एल्यूमिनियम टॉक्सिसिटी. एल्यूमिनियम टॉक्सिसिटी, दिस रेशियो ऑफ कैल्शियम बाय एल्यूमिनियम शुड बी 1. if this ratio is less than 1, right? 1 कब होगा guys? For example, 1 will be when the values of calcium and aluminum will be equal. For example, if both will be 1 and 1 ppm, when we will cancel it, what we will get the value of this ratio as 1. So if the calcium by aluminum ratio is below 1, that means we have more aluminum ion in the soil. That means there is aluminum toxicity. Why are we considered about aluminum toxicity? Yes, it should be equal. Why? मतलब either less होना चाहिए aluminum, it should be 1 or more than 1, right? Less, it should not be less than 1. Why it should not be less than 1? Denominator is Al, right guys? So if it will be less than 1, that means denominator is more. Simple सी बात, simple mathematics. So that means if aluminum and calcium is very good, it is a macronutrient. If you know, calcium is macronutrient, but aluminum is not. So aluminum concentration should not be high, because if it will be higher, it will cause toxicity, right? It will cause toxicity of soil because high concentration of aluminum will damage the root hair, fine root hair. Actually, it does the root inhibition, root growth inhibition karta hai, right? The first thing is that it will affect the root growth, it will inhibit the root growth. That is how it will affect the growth of the plant. The other thing that aluminum does is it affects the calcium uptake. Ab kya hoga guys, generally when aluminum ions will be very much in concentration in the soil, definitely they will affect the calcium uptake because they will be more, so they will enter the plant body, right? So this is how they are affecting the calcium uptake. The other thing which it is doing is it is doing the root growth inhibition. It is inhibiting the root growth. ठीक है? Thus we can say that high concentration of aluminum in soil results in reduced survival of forest. Clear guys? Any doubt? Anyone? किसी को कोई doubt? Shall we move further? Next thing what it does, do you know that acidity, in acidity the cations become more mobile? पता है ना आपको? Have you ever done study of heavy metals are generally reduce survival of forest vegetation. See, अभी जो मैंने बताया उस सब की वजह से क्या होगा? It will reduce the survival of forest. We are talking about the roots. It is affecting the plant growth. It is affecting the calcium uptake, right? It is damaging the roots. So what will happen? We're talking about forests. Forests have trees. So this will affect the growth of the trees in the forest. That is what we are talking about. Clear है? Okay. Now, simple सी बात है. When acid rain increases, guys, cations become more mobile. For example, these essential cations, right? These will leach down. With the acid rain, the availability of macronutrients like potassium, magnesium, calcium, their availability will reduce. They will leach down. Soil will become poor in these nutrients which are required in high quantity. ठीक है? Which are required in high quantity by the plants. And the other thing, what will happen? Because they will leach down. ठीक है? This is other harmful effect. The other one is, आपको पता है, when acid will fall down, when acid rain will occur, what will it do? Acid rain will damage the leaf. It causes leaf injury. It causes discoloration of leaf. Patchy work हो जाएगा leaf पे or yellowing of leaf, right? All these things happen on the leaf. Guys, when acid can damage a human body, then leaf are very sensitive, right? It's going to injure the leaf. ठीक है? Or then next, what other effect happens? That is, acidic soil damages the fine root hairs and destroys the beneficial organisms. So what happens? Do you know what is rhizospheric zone? Guys, do you know rhizospheric zone? For example, this is a plant, right? This is their roots. Yes. Okay, so we have one rhizospheric. Yes. Rhizospheric zone is the zone surrounding the roots of a plant. इसको हम कहते हैं rhizospheric zone. Now this rhizospheric zone will be having high concentration of microorganisms. If you will ever do, guys, a research on soil or something like that, you will see the maximum density of or diversity of microorganisms is present near the rhizospheric zone or near the zone of roots, and as compared to a barren land. Or if you will take a soil sample from a place where there was no tree plant, and when you will take the soil present near the roots of a tree or plant, you will see huge difference, right? This is called rhizospheric zone. So rhizospheric zone, you know that a lot of microorganisms live in symbiosis or even in without symbiosis near the roots, right? Why do they live near the roots? Because, have you heard of root exudates? Root, actually the plant roots exudates a lot of minerals. They release a lot of sugar saccharides, polysaccharides and all. So those polysaccharides act as a food for the bacteria. ठीक है? So that is why bacteria live in close vicinity of the plant's roots, plant or tree roots, because they will get what food easily. So that will they will live near a food source. That's why we have high, population or diversity of microorganisms near the roots of a tree or a plant. बदले में क्या होता है, these microorganisms fix nutrients or provide nutrients to the plants. ठीक है, synergistic effect होता है, right? So it is how this happens. So now, and near the root hairs, so when the acid rain will occur, this acid will damage the fine root hairs that are present on these roots. So when these roots hair will damage these, so the beneficial microorganisms, those will living in the close vicinity, they will also get damaged because of acidic conditions. Under high acidic conditions, bacteria also do not survive. Okay, so that is the reason why those bacteria will die. And the other thing is it will also damage the fine root hair, so that will result in the bad growth of plants or trees. ठीक है, clear? किसी को कोई डाउट? सारे रीजंस मैंने रीजंस के साथ समझा दिया. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट प्लीज आस्क. क्लियर है गाइस? एक्सपायर्ड है बोल दो. ठीक है गाइस, नो डाउट, लेट्स मूव फर्दर. Okay, so what we will see next topic. So now these were the living organisms, plant and soil and other things. Now let's see what are the effects of acid rain on material. One thing is very common, acid do the discoloration of everything. If it will fall on paints, it will do discolor the paints. It weakens the fabric, guys. If the acid will be diluted, it will do the discoloration of your clothes. But if the acid will be concentration, it will cause holes in your fabric. It weakens the fabric because acid is very harmful. So it weakens the fabric. Fabric ko weak kar dega. Next thing, that is the most, I think all of you must be knowing, the most common effect of acid rain on the material is the degeneration. So example is Taj Mahal, marble buildings, degeneration of the marble buildings. Now what happens? Yes, what happens, guys, as you know that in Taj Mahal also we have Mathura oil refinery very nearby. So sulfur dioxide will be coming out of it. So sulfur dioxide results in the formation of H2SO4. Now you know that. This will, what happens, guys, on the marble structures actually, this acid, what it does, when it, as you can see in this, I will not write down, it's written here, how it reacts. Calcium carbonate, marble is made of calcium carbonate, you know that. So calcium carbonate is generally insoluble in water. You know that? हमारे घर में भी मार्बल लगा होता है, तो पानी में insoluble होता है marble, right? Yes. So CaCO3 is insoluble in water. But when acid will fall on it, जैसे कि droplets पड़े, ये marble structure है, this acid rain fall hua. So when this acid will fall on it, H2SO4, this will result in the formation of a compound known as Ca. This Ca gets reacted with SO4. It forms calcium sulfate. इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Gypsum. So this calcium sulfate is, guys, soluble in water. It is soluble in water. So let's see the complete reaction first. When this CaSO4 will form, along with that H2O and CO2 will also form. So this is the whole complete reaction that we get from, when acid rain falls on marble structures. So we will have calcium sulfate, which is soluble in water, then water H2O and carbon dioxide gas. Now what will happen actually? See, for example, this is a floor. Now this gypsum got this, like wherever the acid will fall, this will convert that marble into CaSO4 gypsum. ठीक है, दिख रहा है? So as in the form of the size of the drops in which the acid formed fell there, they will convert that calcium carbonate area into CaSO4. ठीक है, calcium sulfate बना देगा. Now when it will rain again, so what will happen? This calcium, because this was soluble, this calcium sulfate will wash down from there, right? Like this. पूरा ही गायब हो गया. अरे ज्यादा गायब हो, दिख रहा है? This calcium sulfate will wash down from there and it will cause pitted appearance. ऐसे ना गड्ढे जैसे दिखेंगे on marble floors. Have you ever been to a gurudwara or a mandir or a masjid, guys? You would have seen where sometimes in the old temple premises or the gurudwaras or anywhere wherever you have went, so we find sometimes this pitty appearance, patchy appearance, pitted appearance मिलती है. गड्ढे होते हैं. We find holes on the marbles of the size of the water droplets. Why is it? This is because of acid rain. When those in the form of raindrops, when that acid formed, right, acid would have fallen on these areas. That converted that limestone calcium carbonate into calcium sulfate. Then when again water will fall on that, this acid, calcium sulfate will get washed out and this will result in the pitted appearance on the marbles. This is the problem that we have with the acid rain. Have you understood what I just told you guys? Have you got it, guys? All of you. If anyone is having any doubt, you can ask. Okay, so let's move. So that this is how happens. Okay. The other thing is, आपको पहले भी बताया हुआ. What happens in case of normal rain? Because normal rain do not have high strong acid. Normal rain is having what? Normal rain is having carbonic acid. Carbonic acid is a weak acid. So that's why it doesn't create a problem, right? So let's see what's written here. However, in normal rain, which has carbonic acid, weathering of calcium carbonate does not occur up to a great extent, as it is minimized by the production of bicarbonate ions which neutralizes the acid. Now let's see what happens to a marble structure when normal rain falls on it. I have told you, if you remember, acid rain is having the pH of less than 5.6 because of the presence of carbonic acid, which occurs due to dissolution of carbon dioxide into water vapor, right? Into water. So calcium carbonate is having normal rain. Normal rain is having H2CO3, carbonic acid. Now what happens in this reaction? This will result in Ca plus 3 plus 2 ions, calcium ions, and a bicarbonate acid also, ions also formed. Bicarbonate ions form because this increases the alkalinity. So that's how this reaction got stabilizes, or we can say neutralize ho jata hai. That's why we do not have any formation of pits or any kind of yellowing or pitted appearance of marble structures in the normal rain because of the formation of bicarbonate ions. Clear hai? Next, calcium ions are present in okay. Generally, guys, जो if you remember, हमने अभी बात किया था कि high concentration of acid rain will result in aluminium toxicity. But generally, it is seen that calcium ions in India doesn't see productivity problems because of high acid rain. Why? Because we have maximum amount is black soil, and black soil is rich in, right? What kind of soil is present in maximum amount? Black soil. And black soil is having high amount of calcium ions. Okay. Black soil is rich in calcium ions. So what it does? So iske liye calcium by aluminum ratio is very difficult, right, to cross this barrier because calcium ion is in very rich high numbers in black soil. That's why India doesn't is rich in calcium ions. That's why we do not see the acid rain problem causing loss of productivity, much productivity in India. ठीक है, ब्लैक सॉइल इज मैक्सिमम इन इंडिया, ये भी लिखा हुआ है. अब आपका कुछ भी नहीं छूटा. दिस टॉपिक इज कंप्लीट नाउ. क्लियर? आई होप यू आर नॉट हैविंग एनी. ठीक है. How are the conditions? Because pollution conditions are mostly affected, very much affected by the stability conditions that we have. So to understand that, atmospheric stability will go through few things. सबसे पहले तो lapse rate. Guys, all of you would have heard of this term lapse rate. Are you aware of it? Simple, when I'm talking about simple lapse rate means in case of atmosphere, when we move away, acid rain is, no, it's not part of air pollution. Air pollution is affected by the meteorology, the stability conditions. That's what we am talking about. Just